Hello, everyone. Here's the lecture on this episode for long chain of chat and memory. So how you use a chatbot and how you have the different options of having the chatbot remember what it's being said. And there's been an update in the language that some of the popular functions have been outphased. So we just have to write our own. Okay. So let me share the code. So the conversation, so let's upload the library and you basically have to create a chatbot. So here the default system is picking conversation function. So give your system message and then the converse function we define is basically conversation and append with this LLM giving output and then append and keep doing that. Okay. So here we use the model GPT mini that LLM on the default function. And so the output here, I give what's my name and then get the output of it and print and then this and we keep doing this. So it can be done this. Okay. So define the chat as the LLM and conversation and prompt and it will display these things. All right. So conversation, chat, and then here and keep doing it. Okay, so that is how you create a chatbot. Okay, so and here also. So this is fairly basic. You can have different ways of remembering it. So remembering everything is one way, but it will quickly run out of memory. So we'll can have to have a buffer window memory, which means that there's a buffer and it will remember only up to that buffer and then keep forgetting the old stuff and just keeping the new one. Um, So here is a wrapper of the conversation chat and all this, and create a template and history store. And basically, we are creating a buffer that will um, remember up to a certain point. Okay. So here's the history that we remember and then all this. And how it works is that, well, fairly similar, that you have a simple conversation and just this machine keep adding chat and it will remember up to a buffer. Okay. Um, and you can give a system prompt here, of course. And so in this particular case, for example, if you just limit to something that it's uh, okay, something like this, um, then it will just limit its answer to that. Okay. And then you can check the history for the history function we wrote to pull out all the history. Another way is to summary. So summarize the gist of the matter. Uh, um, so here, basically have a different function that passes through the fixed window message strategy is to keep only the last n number of messages and then have run it. So this is one way to write it. And the other one that one could implement is summarize the gist of the matter and keep updating so it doesn't have a limit. But you'll keep summarizing, so some of the older things probably will be more briefly memorized. So here, there's an assistant, summarize without losing decision center. So important things will be summarized and remembered, basically, isn't it? So you're basically creating your own chatbot on how much and how to remember, okay? So so how do you want to remember? So, and you can give an option and create a function like a class and then have do the chatbot doing in a particular way to remember things. So here is a conversation and remember. And if you give a really, really long, of course, text, then eventually it will remember, okay? And because the window is limited, okay? So the history all being remembered. So in this case, we basically use a summarized the gist of the matter, and then you can get fairly long and you'll still remember. Okay. Here's the persistence and rollback and regeneration. Again, it's a fixed buffer memory here. And here's summarizing the memory. And here is like just remembering the conversation without trimming or summarizing. Okay. Okay, here is something that it's an automated code application for using this chatbot. It's a particular application, but sometimes it can be useful for code review and all those kind of things. Okay, so load the functions and you give the rubric of what to do, um, and then here a bunch of extracting just the code from the markdown. So any prompt that is not a code, can you move that? Check whether it's a particular language. And so it's for coding, it can be useful, right? So here's a code and basically review the code. So you can run the code and um, use a chatbot for basically filtering and screening and supervising how the code is done. All right, so this is all I got for this um, memorizing and controlling the memory. Thank you for watching this episode.